Have you ever been stuck? I mean, truly stuck, trying to talk to someone when you just don't speak the same language? It's a universal problem, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to look at the incredible ways people solve this by creating what's called a lingua franca, or a bridge language. But before we get to the solution, you really have to feel the problem. And this quote, it just nails it. It comes from a story about a Catholic nun, Sister Dominic, in Rome back in the 60s. She was in a real jam, and she just couldn't get the words out. Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, a purse lost in Rome. This story is the perfect setup, because it shows you exactly what it feels like to hit that frustrating and kind of scary communication wall. So, picture this. It's Rome, it's the 1960s, Sister Dominic has lost her purse, which is a total nightmare. She finds a police officer, but she speaks French and English, and he only speaks Italian. You can just imagine the scene, right? Total confusion, a complete communication breakdown. Then, a guy who seems like he can help shows up, a priest from Brazil. He sees what's happening and steps in. But get this, he speaks Portuguese and Spanish. So now you've got 3 people trying their best with 5 languages floating around between them, and they're still at square one. The problem just got bigger. And then, the light bulb moment. They realize, wait a minute, she's a nun, he's a priest, they both studied the language of the church, Latin. And just like that, the barrier just vanishes. They can talk perfectly, and the priest explains the whole situation to the officer in Italian. Problem solved. That language they found, Latin, the thing that acted as their bridge, it actually has a name. And that brings us to section 2. We're going to dive into the solution that people have been using for, well, centuries to get past these language gaps. A lingua franca is basically any language that becomes the go-to common ground for people who don't share a native language. For Sister Dominic and the priest, Latin was their lifeline, their lingua franca. It was the bridge that connected them. And seriously, once you know what a lingua franca is, you start seeing them everywhere. Think about an international science conference. You'll have people from Japan, Germany, Argentina, all speaking English to share their research. Or think about Swahili in East Africa, used by people from tons of different tribes to trade and do business. They're all lingua franca. Okay, now let's jump to a totally different part of the world to see how this works on a local level. In Section 3, we're going to a place where a bridge language isn't just for emergencies, it's part of the rhythm of everyday life. We are heading deep, deep into the Amazon rainforest, right on the border of Colombia and Brazil. And this place, it's one of the most linguistically diverse spots on the entire planet. We're talking dozens and dozens of different indigenous languages all packed into one area. And this image, it just captures the whole vibe. Everything there revolves around the Vapes River. And because you have all these different communities living up and down its banks, one language, Tucano, has naturally become the main communication highway, the lingua franca of the river. Now here's the really crucial part. Tucano isn't just for outsiders. For the people who live there, it's the language you automatically switch to when you paddle your canoe up to a neighboring village. It's how you trade, how you say hello, how you share news and gossip. It's the social glue. So, okay, we've seen how people can grab an existing language like Latin or Tucano and use it as a bridge. But what happens when there's no bridge to grab? What do you do when 2 groups of people meet and there is absolutely zero linguistic common ground? Well, this is where human creativity just gets wild. You know what happens if a bridge doesn't exist? You just build one from scratch, out of pure necessity. And this brand new purpose-built language is called a pidgin. And here's the key. At first, nobody speaks it as their native language. It's a simplified mashup created for one reason and one reason only, to let people talk who otherwise couldn't. Now, check this out. What you're looking at on this slide is a real, fully formed pidgin language called Tok Pisin. It's actually one of the official languages of Papua New Guinea. This isn't just some random text. It's the story of Little Red Riding Hood, told in a language that was literally invented to connect people. Let's look a little closer here. Lick lick red bila hot. You can totally hear the English roots, right? Lick lick sounds like little, red pila kind of like red fella. But the grammar, the way the sentences are built, that's all new. It's a true blend, a language born right at the point of contact. And you know, pidgins have often emerged from really tough moments in history. They popped up on slave plantations, where enslaved people from all over Africa, speaking different languages, desperately needed a way to talk to each other. They also grew in busy trading ports during colonial times. They're just this incredible testament to the fact that people will always find a way to connect. So, from a nun's lost purse in Rome, to the Amazon River, to the actual invention of new languages, we've seen just how vital these language bridges are. So for our final section, let's just ask, why does all this matter so much? So what's the big takeaway here? It's that these bridge languages, these lingua francas and pidgins, they're not just some interesting quirk. They are fundamental tools. They're what make trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange possible. Sometimes they're literally what allows people to survive. They're just pure evidence of our deep human need to connect. And that leaves us with one last thing to chew on, something for right now. In a world where we have instant AI translation literally in our earbuds, what happens to these bridges that we've built by hand? Will we still need a shared human language to truly connect with each other, or is technology making them obsolete? It's a fascinating question.